Back with you at Tucker Coliseum in Russellville between games of tonight's basketball doubleheader. And we have the pleasure of being joined by Kyle Shipp, the head football coach at Arkansas Tech University. The Wonder Boys signing 35 players yesterday on National Signing Day and bringing those young men into the Arkansas Tech football program. Coach Shipp, first of all, thank you very much for making time to visit with us here tonight and give us an update on this signing class. And before we talk about some of the guys themselves, I want to take a look. You know, the first question right now on everything is COVID-19. And as you look back over these last 11 months, obviously we know there was no Arkansas Tech football season and no Great American Conference football season last fall. But relative to this recruiting class and this recruiting season, how did COVID-19 influence and change the way you went about assembling this group?
Well, it changed a lot with the amount of scholarships we had because seniors got to come back, and so that affected the amount we had. We didn't have a very large senior class as it was, and so for the most part we were able to sign close to the same amount we would like to, but it made it different. And the way we're looking at it is the class that we sign, we get to add in with that freshman class because they're both freshmen again. And so we're excited about that. We feel like we got a really good young nucleus of our football team, and I think we got a chance to be pretty good.
When you look at this group, it includes 20 native Arkansans, and I know you want that to be the foundation of your program as you look to build the Wonder Boys back to a championship form, and just those relationships that you and your staff are building with the high school coaches around the state, and then translating that to relationships with the young men, that's really going to be the foundation of getting the Wonder Boys back to the top of the GAC, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that was the most of any other GAC team that signed Arkansas kids, so we put that out there first and foremost. But yes, we're always going to recruit Arkansas the right way, the right kids, and we feel really good about the Arkansans that we got out of this class.
When you and your staff assessed some of your needs, you kind of look at the roster, you look at the depth chart, and you start looking at, okay, as we look to have some guys, some older guys matriculate out of the program, where are we going to need to fill some gaps? What were some of those big priorities for you and your staff this year?
Well, two spots that you always have to address are O-line, D-line. They're the foundations of your football program as your team. If you're not good in those places, you're probably not very good. So those were two places we were able to get some guys. Quarterback, like we got two young men at quarterback that I think are going to be pretty good players for us as well. And then all around linebacker, we signed 4 linebackers that we feel like all 4 a lot of upside, especially Andre Sparks from Springdale. He has a ton of upside. Very excited about him. Luckily, Brett Hobbs, former Wonder Boy himself, was very helpful with that.
We're visiting with Kyle Shipp, the head football coach at Arkansas Tech University. The Wonder Boys signing 35 young men to national letters of intent yesterday on National Signing Day. And mixed into that group, you know, we talk about a lot of the Arkansas high school kids, but as you go down and look, you know, where they've been before, there's a few Division I transfers mixed in there, maybe some guys who can be more of that immediate impact guy for you.
Well, obviously the first person they always look at is the quarterback with Jack Lindsay. You know, so far Jack's been on campus for about 3 weeks, and I've been impressed with him as a person, his football IQ, his work ethic, and now it's just we got to gather and play and see what he can do. But we're really excited about him. Victor Hill, defensive end from UCA. I think he has a chance to come in and be an immediate impact. Adam Cousins, receiver from UTEP. I think he'll come in and play for us. And then you got Jesse Boshears from Perryville, but he was a UCA transfer O-lineman. I think he adds immediate depth. Could probably push to play, be a starter as well. And then also we have a young man from Houston Baptist that's a defensive end. And we think that he's got a ton of upside, Kobe Edwards. And hopefully Coach Dawson doesn't try to steal him because he was a heck of a high school baseball player from everything I was told. And I got to keep him away from Dawson.
And, you know, the one thing that really stood out to me as I looked down the high school guys, the guys that are going to come in as true freshmen, I looked at where they're from. And there's a lot of guys coming from places where they're used to winning a lot of football games. How much of a difference does that make when you can recruit young men who have grown up in a culture of winning?
Well, we want to bring guys in that don't understand how to win. Winners win. And so the more winners you have on your team, the better chance you have of winning, in my opinion. And that's why the kids from Greenwood, you know, they've done nothing but win. Young man from Argyle, they do nothing but win. And it's not just them, it's almost every every young man we took, they come from cultures of winning, and that's obviously what we're trying to establish, and we will. But with those guys, they're going to bring that work ethic, that mindset of how to win on a daily basis, on an every play basis, on everything they do basis that will continue to grow our program.
Well, things are looking good right now with how the numbers are trending relative to COVID-19. It's great news with the vaccines becoming more readily available. And so I'm going to sit here and operate under the assumption there is going to be a 2021 football season at Arkansas Tech University.
There is.
And as we look ahead to the fall, just kind of walk us through the timeline of what you and your team will do to prepare for that season opener this fall.
Well, we're really, really fortunate that this spring we're able to have some scrimmages and some practices. We're going to have a total of 4 scrimmages. One will be an inter-squad scrimmage, and then we have 3 more that are all going to be away from Arkansas Tech. One will be at Northeastern Oklahoma, one will be at Mississippi College, and a third one will be named later that will make people very excited. So we're really excited about that. Our young men are really excited about those things, and I tell you what, they've worked harder than I've ever seen them work. Partly because they're going to play somebody, hit somebody new. I mean, it's been a year, and those guys are excited, and they're ready to get that monkey of 3 and 8 off their back. They're ready to say, hey, we're here, we're back, it's time to roll. And so that's our mindset, and we don't expect anything but that this upcoming season. So we're really excited. Our kids are working really hard. We've got a great group. I can't wait to play somebody else again, scrimmage at least, and just see where we're at.
If that third scrimmage is where I think it is, I will take any means necessary to get into the stadium and watch that happen. But we'll talk more about that later, though.
I probably can get you in that one.
I appreciate that, because I don't want to miss that. Well, Coach, as you assess the status of your program right now, and you talk about wanting to get back and compete in the Great American Conference, take on the teams that have traditionally been at the top of this league, the Ouachita Baptists, the Hardings, the Henderson States, as you look at trying to compete with those programs and get up there into that upper echelon, what needs to improve? What needs to happen just on a fundamentals level, an X's and O's level for your football team? What do you see as your big points of emphasis that you want to work on through spring practice and through those scrimmages?
Well, the first fall, it was just learning how to finish. Guys didn't understand that. We're to that point that guys understand that point now, what the expectations of practice, what their expectations of the weight room, what the expectations are in the classroom, right? All those things can contribute to the wins. Now the next phase is becoming a winner every single play, knocking out those little mistakes that were happening, and not, if something bad happens, it's not the end of the world. Next play, we're good. Someone goes down, next man up. We're going to be fine, and that mentality is slowly starting to grow. And again, a lot of it goes back to us being young the previous year, guys maturing. Not saying that COVID was good, but for us, it probably helped in maturity. Because I told a lot of our guys, the guys that are juniors, this would be your senior season. So there's no reason not to think that you're a senior, because mentality, there's no reason to say I'm a junior. No, you're a senior in your mind. You just get 2 senior years. So it's all about growing up for us, taking out the mistakes, and becoming more of a team, which we've done a really good job of doing that.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great signing class. We look forward to watching those young men develop academically and athletically over the next 4 to 5 years and really contribute to all the success that's to come for the Wonder Boys football program. And we're sure proud to have you leading it. Best of luck here through the spring. And like I say, if that third scrimmage works out, I'll see you there.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks for having me. I can't wait for this spring. If the last scrimmage, they let people in here at Tech, we'd love to have 10,000 people. I don't think it's going to happen, but if they let some in, we'd love to have you there.
That'd be wonderful. Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That is Kyle Shipp, the head football coach at Arkansas Tech University. Right now, we will pause for 2 minutes, and when we come back, we will transition into pregame coverage for Wonder Boys basketball against Henderson State. This is Arkansas Tech basketball.
Maybe you're moving some dirt around the house. Got jobs to do. Well, maybe you don't have what you need. River Valley Tractor has it, and they have